All right. Welcome to the podcast.
Okay, so this is 1554 Wired. It's the first podcast, the first official podcast we're doing.
Yeah.
For
Yo.
1554 Productions. So thank you for watching. Let's do some introductions starting over here.
I'm John Cannon.
I'm Mikey Blosh.
I am Corey Uribe.
And I am Daniel Santiago.
How's everybody doing?
Pretty dang good, if you ask me.
Sick.
Mikey, why are you sick?
Because allergies suck. I sneeze a lot.
What a loser.
Oh, don't touch my head, you ass.
Are you talking about when we were in my car?
Yes.
All right, so me and Mikey took a little dinner road trip. Well, I was the only one getting dinner, but we went to Five Guys, Burgers and Fries, hence Lake Cup. And and Mikey has a severe peanut allergy, and
What's
he
that
was.
have to do with...
I thought that, oh yeah,
That
well I was
the
going to
reason
talk
why-
about.
Oh.
Okay, either way, so we went to Five Guys. So Mikey has a severe peanut allergy, like horrible, and he was walking to the bathroom, and passing the bathroom, there was like a stack 5 high of gallons of peanut oil.
I almost
Oh,
died.
really?
Yeah.
But what he was talking about is he sneezed like
Yeah.
87 times in my car.
It's like my spider senses were going off.
Oh, really?
Saying,
Oh,
don't go
dear
in there.
Mikey, you're not a superhero.
Yes,
I'm
I
sure
am.
you will soon figure out that Mikey will always think he's a superhero,
I
which
am.
he is not. He is.
Watch this. Oh,
Fucking fuck, dude.
Okay, Mikey's
See
an idiot.
that, man?
You're an idiot.
like
Okay.
Okay, if
So-
you didn't
I
realize,
cut the mic in half. That's how good I am.
he hit my neck and nothing happened. So there you go.
Okay, so,
Just the
so
stick was in the
speaking
way.
of speaking of road trips,
Yeah.
I have been
Ow.
driving to school this last week. I have been driving past some of the worst and craziest drivers on the road.
Oh my god.
Today I was driving behind.
Were they Asian?
No,
Oh.
I was driving behind the recycling trucks. You know those big recycling? They look like the garbage ones.
Yeah.
4 of those. It was a 2-lane highway, like going one way. 4 of those got on the highway, and there were 2 on each lane, all driving the same speed. So you have.
So it was like a
it
wall.
was a block.
Yeah.
Like nobody was getting through that. And I was just like, "Are you kidding?"
How far under the speed limit were they going?
I mean, they were going pretty much the speed limit, but it was at 55 because Denton is kind of stupid. You have 55 instead of 60.
Yeah.
No
but,
one-
like,
they were
no one
going-
goes
They
55.
were going so slow. I was
They're
just
obeying
like,
the law, my
this
friend.
is ridiculous.
Okay, not when there's a bunch of trucks like that blocking the whole road.
It's
That would make
what's
me
the
mad.
law, Corey.
It was ridiculous.
Screw the law.
and
Screw
that's
the
why
law.
you are not a superhero.
That is a good philosophy to have. So me and Daniel were driving back to his house from Denton, and we saw the craziest driver I've ever personally seen
Yeah,
firsthand.
I would agree with that. This is probably the
Yeah.
most lunatic person.
Yeah. So there was this guy driving a white pickup, pulling a yellow and black boat, clearly coming back from the lake, and he was going about 80, pulling a boat, and we were at a stoplight.
Okay, wait. How big was
Yeah.
this boat?
It
Like
was
huge,
um,
or just like a
I'd
little?
say-
it wasn't like a pontoon boat, but it was like a speedboat.
Like the size of the truck, it was like a third bigger than the truck. So it was like the truck.
Okay,
and
so
then like
this
a,
is a good sized boat.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
it's-
not.
yeah,
it's a good like it's probably the size of a fire truck.
Yeah, it wasn't
Okay.
like a fly it wasn't like a fly fishing boat or anything like that.
It was a pretty decent sized truck.
Okay,
Yeah.
and going 80.
Yeah, going 80, and we were at a stoplight.
We weren't on a freeway, by the way.
Yeah, we were at a
We were on
stoplight.
like,
Oh, what?
Kinda,
Oh.
we were kind of one of those like
Halfway in
fast
between.
road where it's like 50. You know.
Yeah.
So it's a
So it's
fast
not
road,
it's not
but
a highway, but
Yeah.
okay.
It's just
Yeah.
like a fast road.
It's like the hermaphrodite of driving. Anyways, so we were at a. It was 3 lanes. We're all at a stoplight, about 4 cars back in each lane, and then there's a turn lane, and he swerved all the way into the turn lane to pass all of us, and then ran the red light going 80. Like
He
not
didn't
even
even
like he
stop.
accidentally. Like we were already stopped, and he went around us to run the red light, and then we got on the freeway, and we were still behind him, and he was cutting people off, swerving across like 3 lanes with no signal. And he knocked over a traffic barrel with his boat that was just swinging from side to side. And there was a guy on a motorcycle. He drove into the next lane.
Yeah, like he needed to merge to like get onto the freeway.
Yeah.
So he just merged, and there's a biker there, and the biker he just got shoved into the next lane next to him.
Yeah.
And like there was a point where it was only it was 2 lanes. He was driving in the middle of both lanes.
Yeah.
So like he was taking up both lanes.
Still going
basically.
about 80.
Okay, where are the cops in this
Dude,
point?
I have
Like,
no idea.
what-
I called them.
We called the police and like gave him his.
I called.
info or whatever.
But it was like it was right on the border of like 4 cities. So like when we called, when I called 911, I called my dad to see like, do I need to call non-emergency or emergency? And he's like, no, just call 911. They'll know what to do. So I called 911 and I got Grapevine and told them what happened. And as soon as I got done explaining, they were like, okay, well if he just exited Cheeksburger, you're in Euless now. I'll transfer you to Euless. And so they transferred me to Euless, and then they told the Euless people what happened, and I was like, yeah. And I gave them the driver's license number, the license plate number. Yeah.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, okay. And then which direction did he turn
Basically,
on Cheeksburger?
like,
He just turned right on Cheeksburger. Okay, now he's in Bedford. We'll transfer you to Bedford.
Yeah, basically like
This
that,
guy
that
knows
one
how to
road,
play.
depending on which direction you go, could be like 4 different cities.
Yeah.
So he made a right, and the person didn't know which city it was, so they just kept transferring.
Yeah, so they transferred me to Bedford, and then after that, they were like, "Oh, well, he's likely at Colleyville now." So we've alerted all the officers in Colleyville.
Yeah,
I was
so-
like, all right. Well,
so,
now,
like-
now that 4 cities are involved in this.
But also to get his license plate, me and John were tailing this guy, and he was going 90. So we were like, it was almost like a chase. Like we're almost like we're the news crew, like running after the tornado, trying to get a shot of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we know we're in trouble because.
And you didn't
because-
get the shot.
This
No,
this guy-
we
no,
pulled
got
up
the
and
license
yeah,
plate.
we got the
did.
license plate.
No,
That's
no,
what
I know.
we're trying to do.
I'm joking. Like, if you were the news, he was like, and you
Oh, yeah.
didn't get the shot.
Yeah, because like the guy was obviously drunk. Like he was either like really mad, a terrible driver, and just didn't give a rat's ass, or he was like severely drunk,
Or
'Cause He was
both.
all over the place.
No, they were-
and
there were
like,
those-
following him at that speed was very dangerous.
There,
so-
yeah, especially and there was construction everywhere, only 2 lanes, but there were like the stereotypical red cups flying out of the boat,
yeah. They're like like
bouncing off of our windshield.
Like there must have been at least 15 cups that he was just throwing out the window.
Yeah, throwing
or,
out
or
the.
they were in the boat
Well,
and they were just
I saw
flying out.
I saw him throw some out the window, and some were flying out of the boat, but they were. It was bad.
It always seems like when you need a cop, he's not there. But then when you don't need him, then, well, sure enough, he's there.
Yeah, it
Like
happens.
speaking of police, I was driving to campus and I was parking in the lot and I needed to catch the bus to get to my class because it's like a 20-minute walk, unless you catch the bus and then it's like 8 minutes. So I got up to the parking lot and I saw the bus was at one of its first stops and it has 3 stops in the parking lot. So I was like, oh shit, I need to get to the next stop. So I was driving towards the second stop, but the bus pulled in front of me. And so I couldn't get to the second stop. So then I was like, oh shit. So I ran around, like I zipped around the bus, like as it was picking up people on the second stop, like floored it all the way to the third stop because I knew I was only going to get like 15 seconds until he was there and I still need to get my bag and everything. So I was flooring it, I was like driving real fast, like pulled it in, started like doing my little shield like on the window to block the sunlight and everything, grabbed my backpack. And I looked in my rearview window and a cop had pulled up and stopped right behind me. And he did this little siren. He was like, "Woo!" And so I was like, but he didn't get out of his car. He was just sitting.
You should have just like slowly taken your shirt off, like it was a, like it was a beat or something like that.
Oh. Yeah, because that would have helped. But
The
yeah,
one
basically,
straight
he
cop
was-
in Denton.
He wasn't moving. He just like stopped, and it was the campus police. So I mean, even if they find me, it wouldn't have been that bad.
Lols.
But like he was just sitting there, and I thought he was gonna like get out of the car and like it's like you're going 40 or 50 in the parking lot. I don't know if it was 50. It was probably like 40 or something like that.
What did he
But
say?
He didn't get out of his car. He did a little siren. And he just sat there, and I was looking at him. I was like, what is going on here? And eventually the bus. He was sitting right in front of the bus stop. So the bus came up and gave him a little beep beep, honked, and so the police officer was like, oh shit. So he just drove off. And he was like, I guess it's not worth it. The guy's
Yeah.
already parked, the bus is waiting on me.
Really?
I'll just leave. So the guy just left. And I thought I was gonna get like in trouble, but it turns out like the bus pretty much was like, cop, get out of the way. And
Yeah.
so the cop pulled forward, and as soon as he pulled like past like my sight to where the bus blocked it, I like hopped out and got on the bus like as quickly as possible.
You just
And the bus just
glared
drove
at
off.
Did you see him after you got on the bus?
He
Like,
just
go
he
back?
Just, he just kept driving. No, he didn't go back. He
Oh,
just
okay.
kept driving.
He kept
So
driving.
like I think if the bus wasn't there, he probably would have like
Yeah,
done
I
something.
mean, I know you would have gotten a ticket. He probably would have
Would have
just.
job kicked you.
Maybe.
Yes, that. Mikey, have you ever gotten pulled over
Yeah, I've gotten 2 tickets in 2 months.
in like
2
the
tickets
last
in
2
2
months,
months?
or just
Not
like
the last. It was like
they're
it was
less than
at
2
the
months
end-
apart?
it was like less than 2 months apart. I was going like 85 on I-35 on the way home.
Whoops. That's
Yeah.
like that's 85 and a 65, right? That's 20 over.
Yeah.
Nice. What was the
I
other
never
one?
got caught before, and the other one was gay. Like, I was just going back from like TCC on like precinct line or whatever, and there's construction there, and I was at like a stop sign or stoplight, and it hadn't turned green for like 5 minutes. I'm not even joking, and then like the lines backed up like past the stoplight behind
Yeah.
us. Like, what the hell? So everyone's going through like the postal service, to go cut through or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was already past that, so I go like to the left by where the Blockbuster used to be in the Taco Bell, and then right when I like get into the next lane, I'm turning, the cop pulls up behind me and he gave me a ticket for cutting through a parking lot. I was like, what the hell? What's all these people? Why did you?
Okay.
Not
Can somebody
them.
explain to me why cutting through a parking lot is against the law? Like
Exactly.
technically, I mean, what
was
rule are you
pissed.
breaking really? I mean, what as long as you signal and you're not speeding in the parking lot, and when you're getting out, you signal again and you make a nice how is it illegal? Like at what point are
Yeah.
you doing something wrong?
I think they just don't want you to do that.
But what are you doing wrong? Like
Well,
I don't
no,
understand.
that's what I'm
that.
saying. I agree. I don't.
Your dad's a cop, so explain to me, like, how is that against the law?
Oh, it
Like
was
what
your dad,
what,
too.
what law are you
I love
breaking?
that.
No, it wasn't.
Bring up an aggravation. Your dad's a cop, so you obviously know everything. It's like that's like the same thing, dude. I think I have a tumor. Your dad's a doctor. Can you operate on me? It's just
No,
like,
no. I'm just asking you to explain it. To
I don't know.
me.
Do
Like,
you want me to look it up? I'll look it up real quick.
I would say look it up.
keep
on
talking.
the-
Look it up
It
on
was
the
your
phone.
dad that pulled me over.
It was not my dad that pulled you over.
He was black. Never.
All right.
mind.
See,
Well-
and I agree with
So it
you
wasn't your dad.
on like there shouldn't be a rule saying like you can't do that, but I just think they don't want you to do that.
Yeah, I
But
think you're right.
that's why it's there. It's like, well, no, you can't do that. Like,
I don't know. All right, John, we'll look that up and give us an answer after the break. We're gonna take a break.
All right.
All right,
And-
John. So what's the answer?
All right. So what I have found is it's not illegal everywhere necessarily, but the technical
Okay.
term.
How is it illegal?
Just let me finish.
Okay.
All right. There are multiple terms for it. The most common term for that law, because it's a city. It's usually a city-based thing, and it's like it's up to the city whether or not they enforce it. But it's evading a traffic control device, is what it is technically. The thing is that a parking lot is private property, and
it's not.
Okay.
no. A parking lot is private property because the business owns it.
Okay.
Or the people that own the building own it.
Do they really care though if we cut through it?
Yeah, the thing is that you can't. It's not a thoroughfare. It's very similar to like backing up a one-way street because you're too lazy to go around the block. And also the way that traffic control devices work is they control the flow of traffic. And if people cut through the parking lot, they're disrupting the flow of traffic. There are going to be too many people on the road. It's going to create a traffic problem.
well, I mean, I would think the only reason people will do that is if there's too much traffic.
Exactly.
So
What
No,
if-
but
therefore,
there's
it's
not too
not-
much traffic. It's
What if-
because you're too lazy to wait for the light.
What?
Well,
But the
you're-
light,
you're-
the
there have
light
definitely
wasn't
been
working,
times
though.
where-
they like skipped the light, so that's not my fault necessarily.
Still, you're still just not supposed to skip it. The thing is, it's private property and it's not a thoroughfare. It's not a road.
Okay. But one thing that I don't understand is if you're allowed to make a legal right on a red light, why does it matter if you cut through the parking lot?
Because you
You're
only
still,
no,
you're
no,
not
because
evading
stop.
anything.
You only make an illegal right if you have enough room to. But if you're cutting through the parking lot, it doesn't matter if there's other people going. You're just adding to the mix of traffic. It's only a certain amount of people are supposed to go at a time. You know what I mean? It's like Just think of it this way: at the top of there's a lifeguard at the top of the water slide that tells you when you can go. It's like if like the kid went when the lifeguard told him to, and then another kid was halfway up the ladder to the top, and he just jumped on because he was too lazy to wait to get to the top.
Yeah, they wouldn't care.
They would bounce off each other. It's
That
it-
makes it more
Okay,
fun.
but-
No,
For
it's
example,
a
like-
safety hazard.
Okay, what I don't get, so there's the guy waiting at the red light to make a right.
Okay.
There's a guy who cuts through the parking lot who is on his right waiting to make a right also. They're both waiting to make a right. It's not like he just juts in. Obviously they still have to wait.
But if they're both doing that, that's twice as many people that are doing the same thing at the same time. You're adding an extra car to the mix. Also, it's unsafe for pedestrians because in parking lots people are walking, and if people are using it as a thoroughfare,
Well, it's
Well,
not.
it's
okay.
It's not
Generally,
like I was
those
going
are
40. I was going like 10 miles an hour.
well, I'm not talking about you specifically,
Oh.
Mikey. I'm just talking about why it's illegal. Because
generally those are like gas stations, though.
gas stations are usually what's on the corner.
Yeah.
But
what I'm saying.
yeah, there's also cars pulling in and pulling out of the stalls. So adding more cars to that is more opportunities for a small ding
It
bouncing off
just
each other.
depends on the situation.
There's no situation where you should be too lazy to wait for a light.
No, the only reason I would ever do that is if it was backed up to the point where it was barely moving. It's like I'm not going to sit here for
If it's
20 minutes.
let me stop
when I
you
could
right
just
there. If
cut
it's a red
through
light,
and-
it's not moving. So
No, I said traffic, not a red light.
well, we're talking about a red light, but either way, you're avoiding a traffic control device and disrupting the flow of traffic, and that's
Well,
why it's
I mean,
but
I
it's,
can understand it, but at the same, I can see how it can go either
yeah,
way.
Mikey's case is kind of isolated because they usually it's law, but they don't enforce it very much. They'll only pull you over if you're cutting through the parking lot going like 30 or 40.
The
Well,
guy was being a
Yeah,
Change-
Mikey's case is probably just like an isolated thing.
All right. Well, changing topics. I've been to Jason's Deli twice, like recently, like maybe in the past month,
Mm-hmm.
and I noticed that they have this new Sprite called Sprite Green, which is supposed to be kind of like when Sierra Mist switched to like all natural, like only lemons, and then
Yeah.
7-Up did the same thing. That's what it's supposed to be like. It's supposed to be Sprite Green is like this new thing. It has like half the calories and like less carbonation. So it's almost like what Gatorade did with G2. It's the same thing. It's just supposed to be a little bit healthier. And a lot of people don't like it because it has this like diet like twang to it.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all,
I hate
from
the
what
diet
from what I
twang,
looked
too.
up, because I was curious, I was like, "What's Sprite Green?" I looked it up. Supposedly, they started testing it in Chicago and New York in like 2008, and I don't know how well it's doing because I haven't seen it in any stores. But for whatever reason, Jason's Deli has it. So if you're in a Jason's Deli near you, at least in the Texas area, try it out. Sprite Green. But anyway,
This
yeah,
brought to you by
like-
Jason Deli.
Yeah, this portion of the podcast brought to you by Sprite Green and Jason's Deli. But yeah, basically, it was a diet drink. So a lot of people say, "Oh, that's a diet nastiness." I thought it was way better. Like
Really?
it's thicker, so you have more flavor. Okay, here's the reason why I like Pepsi versus Coke. Pepsi has more like thickness, and the flavoring is heavier than the amount of carbonation they
It's
put.
it's
Tastes the
thicker. It's
same
thicker
to me.
because
And-
they all they do is add dirt to Coke. They just take a scoop of dirt and pour it in Coke.
Scoop
and
of
it's
dirt.
Okay,
Pepsi.
but like anytime I drink a Coke product ever, I always notice there's more caffeination than flavor. But with Sprite Green, there's more flavor than caffeination. So instead of getting nothing but bubblies and burps, you actually taste the flavor of the drink.
Are you meaning to say carbonation?
Yeah,
Whatever,
you
that's
said like
fine.
caffeination.
I just noticed that one can's blue and one can's red,
But-
and it tastes the same.
It really doesn't.
Does
But
to me.
like for somebody who has pretty bland taste buds, I can notice the difference. It's the notice like
See,
there's just more flavor.
I dislike
versus
them
the
both.
carbonation.
See, the thing, whenever I drink a Coke product, it feels like my teeth are just like coated with sugar, and it feels nasty. And whenever I drink Pepsi, it feels like I just like there's a brick in my stomach of gas.
It's a
Well, I
win-win
mean,
situation
yeah.
then.
Yeah,
But
it's. I drink Dr Pepper instead, and it's great.
But the point is,
Ugh.
I
don't like Dr.
I think
Pepper.
Sprite Green is super good. Also, it's got like a brownish yellow tint to it, so it's not clear like
Like a ginger ale.
Like
What?
diarrhea.
Like it,
no, Mikey. But it's like a slight yellowish, but it's like a brownish yellow.
so like ginger ale.
Yeah,
Well,
I'd
they're
say
two
that's
different.
what
They're two
I-
different kinds of ginger ale. I looked this up the other day. There's what's called sparkling ginger ales or clear ginger ales, which is like Canada Dry, where it's closer to like a clear color. And then there's golden ginger ales, which are the kind I like that have a little more burn. Where they're the older ones.
Burn?
Burn the back of your throat a little bit. Kind of like
Why would you drink that then?
because I like it.
Why do
like,
people drink alcohol?
My favorite Werner,
I don't drink
my favorite ginger ale
Me
is
neither,
my favorite ginger ale is Werner's, and it's a golden ginger ale. It's been around forever.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't drink any carbonated drinks, so I have no comment
Why do you not?
because I don't like it.
Because you don't like the burping. You don't like the
No, I don't.
bubblies?
I don't like the carbonation.
So you'll drink anything without
It-
carbonation.
Well, I mean, yeah, if it's good though, like I'm not gonna drink just some nasty something.
Nasty.
But
I like
yeah,
Sprite- I like
water,
Sprite Green.
milk, juice, non-carbonated.
Powerade.
Do you like
Yeah.
your orange juice with pulp or without pulp?
Without.
Yeah.
With-
What about you?
Without.
What about you,
Without.
Mikey?
Without, I don't like the goop. Goop.
Dude,
You're
I
leaving
like-
me hanging.
What? Oh.
God.
Oh.
You left me hanging for a
Oh
solid
my
10. Did you
god.
guys see that?
Yes.
I
In case
thought
you guys
were
are curious,
I
I like-
thought you were gonna tell me put your face on the mic again.
Daniel's full on like,
That's why
yeah,
I was like,
and
oh,
you're just
sorry.
Wait,
Mikey did
I
not
thought
give
you
me a
like
high
hold
five.
up. Hold
Minding
up,
my
Mikey, your
own
face.
business.
Yes, I was like, sorry.
I like pulp.
Why? Why do you like pulp? It's like there's little ants in it.
It's not like there's little ants.
Ants.
What do you think?
It's just like a little bits and pieces of
Yeah,
stuff.
it
It's like,
tastes-
I don't want
It's
that.
like
I
a-
don't want that either.
Yeah.
It
It
just
feels
it,
like seaweed, like at the coast of like a lake, you know?
Well, I haven't
That's
eaten
what
seaweed.
it tastes
but-
like an orange.
Mikey, that would be lakeweed.
It just
Not seaweed.
Whatever.
Freshwater lakeweed.
Vegetation floating on
that
the
sounds
edge
like
of
the name of
lake.
That's
that
like
sounds like the name of a really obscure like punk band.
What?
Freshwater lakeweed.
Yeah.
Or like a variation of like a drug. Like,
Yeah.
is this weed? This is special lakeweed.
It's gonna fuck you up.
Domesticated like freshwater lakeweed.
Yeah.
I noticed that Chick-fil-A's lemonade has some pulp.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's always at the
Like-
bottom though.
What's the word- what's the word
there's been times where I've had a ton of pulp in it, and then there's been times where I haven't had any. So I don't know if it's just they don't change it or I don't know. Just-
I don't know. I don't eat there.
What's the word for
Oh,
to
yeah.
have pulp?
Peanut
like,
oil.
Like
Containing
pulpous.
pulpified.
Pulpous.
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 This lemonade is very pulpous.
Okay. Do you drink orange juice from concentrate or the natural squeeze one?
I don't like to think about it too hard, so it's natural.
Because
squeeze.
do you notice have you ever tried the two and like noticed a difference?
Yeah, the from concentrate tastes like it's just like the same difference between like fresh made queso and cheese out of a can. You know what I mean?
Like-
It's just not as good.
Like I noticed that from concentrate tastes more like orangeade and not from concentrate tastes more like a well, obviously.
See, that's why I like it with pulp. Like fresh squeezed with pulp, it's like it tastes the freshest. When it comes to juice, I love like it's got to be fresh.
Well,
It's got to taste really
I do
fresh.
like orangeade though. That's probably why. Like,
Yeah, I know because you like artificial everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Whereas I like stuff to taste fresh.
Me.
So fresh and so clean.
This portion of the podcast is brought to you by Outcast.
Okay.
They gave us the license for that.
I'm sorry,
Give us
Miss
the
Jackson. I am for real.
Oh my god. All right. So here's new.
What happened?
What was that?
I stuck my tongue out.
Mikey like zoned out and just like licked the.
Me
he,
too.
He licked the pop filter.
I
yeah, he
was
licked the
like-
filter and then he immediately realized what he was
You-
doing and he was like disgusted with
Do
himself.
you need to get a room with that thing?
No,
Because
like,
there's one right
I
there.
just gonna like stick my tongue. I was like, and then
Yeah,
I didn't
okay.
know my face
Yeah,
was
whatever.
that close to the thing.
Mikey, you have never been farther from the mic in your entire life.
Anyway,
What are you
Fucking-
gonna say? Corey?
earlier we just
Mikey's phoning it from Arkansas.
Mikey, stop licking the filter.
I didn't. I was just faking.
All right, all right.
Okay.
What Corey has
We,
to
we,
say.
we were discussing on how you thought every girl in a club was a hoe.
Okay.
Which, by the way, that is not true.
Who here
That sounds-
has been to a club? Say I.
I have not been to a club.
I've been to a
Hey.
club.
Nobody's been to a
I've
club.
been to a club.
Okay, but
you have?
Yes.
Billy Bob's
And they dress.
that's
Billy Bob's is a honky tonk.
yeah,
it's not a club.
country club.
No, a
Mikey-
country club is where you play
no,
golf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tennis.
it's
No
it's a
Jews
honky-tonk.
allowed.
There's a
Yeah.
difference, okay? I've been to a
I
real
agree with
club.
there is a difference. I've been to a real club too, and they do dress whorish.
Slutty.
Whorish
like,
is
like,
a better
like
word.
when the nice thing to wear is booty shorts and a tank that is cut down to here. That's the nicest you get.
Okay,
I
hang
mean-
on.
Like the average is lingerie, but nasty lingerie.
Well, then it depends on the club. Should it? Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I just think it's hard.
Like,
I think you might have gone.
It's
I think
hard
you
for
might
me
have gone to a
believe
strip club.
that every girl in a club anywhere has to be a hoe.
They don't
Like, that-
have
that
to.
doesn't-
It's just kind of one of those hoe things to do. It's like let's
It's-
go.
it's
let's-
just one of those
let's
hoe
dress-
things to do. That's
let's
not even a
dress
phrase.
Slutty, get on top of a stage and shake her ass for 20 minutes.
That
I
sounds
think they do a
that
lot
sounds
of-
That's,
exhausting.
What?
That sounds exhausting.
Not really. It takes like no effort. They just like bounce their legs like this.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It just naturally
Should I talk
jiggles.
about
kinda-
Should I talk about my extra vertebrae theory?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So
I want to hear this.
okay, just hear me out. So I've watched the music video for Walmart by Mr. Ghetto, and it's just these.
In the link dump book.
Yeah, and it's just these black girls just bouncing their asses, and I don't even know.
Oh,
It's like
is that the one you read?
yeah, it's the most.
Wale, 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 wale. Okay. Go ahead.
It's
Go
like the
ahead.
most unnatural ass motion I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of ass motions.
it's like
So I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Ass motion.
but it's. I have a theory that only black girls can do it because African American women are born with an extra vertebrae at the bottom of their spine, and it's on a
Okay,
hinge.
Whoa,
It's on a
whoa,
hinge.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Where is your medical fact for this?
it's a theory.
It's just a
Oh,
yeah.
theory. Okay,
Yeah, we're
sorry.
running tests right now, but
Okay.
it's just that they gotta have an extra vertebrae that's on a hinge, so they can just.
Because that's the only way they
So,
can
like,
be able to do
it
that.
goes-
Yeah, it's just like here's the spine and here's the vertebrae, and it's like. Wale.
But like, oh man, it's almost like they move once and then the jiggle.
Yeah,
just keeps the
It's just
vibrations
it's a
just keep
perpetual
going.
motion.
Okay, wait,
It's like one of those things with the beads where it's like tick 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 tick.
Wait,
like
yeah.
they just go once and then it just kind of.
Yeah,
Wait,
exactly.
Are we sure that's not just some butt fat back there?
No,
There
it
is
is.
a lot
but,
of butt
but
fat.
how do they
Okay,
keep
so
it
then-
moving? How do they keep it moving?
Yeah.
I rest my case.
I
Practice.
just think if you kept
Practice
kept-
makes
They're
perfect.
just standing in front of a mirror, just kind of like, oh, it's
If
not
you-
jiggling
if you-
enough.
If you had enough butt fat, if you just did that, it would keep on going.
Yeah,
you don't need
probably
an extra
would.
vertebrae to keep it going.
Do you do that, Corey?
No, we don't do that.
Just stand in front of a
liar.
mirror and just practice.
Did we all
Okay.
just stop
I
talking to
would-
do that?
We all stop talking, just wiggling in our chairs.
These poor chairs.
I have no butt, so I can't.
Dude, yeah, me neither. I'm buttless.
Me too.
They used to call me John Cannon, the buttless wonder. And by they, I mean myself right now.
Okay, well, I still think.
Oh, we're going
That-
back to the club thing.
Well, that's what we were talking about.
Okay.
But I refuse to believe that every girl in there is
I think it's time for
Oh,
the
yeah.
adventures of John and Daniel to go to a club
Dude,
with a camera.
Whoa, why would it just be John Daniel?
I don't know if
The-
I want to go back to a club.
The
It
The
was-
adventures
it was-
of John,
it was-
Daniel,
okay.
Corey, and Mikey.
Also,
there you
another
go.
thing. Okay, it might have to do with this. It was a club specifically for people like
Which club did you go
18 to
to?
maybe 22.
Yeah, well, there's your problem.
Which club did you go
And
to?
like my thinking is that maybe older people are mature enough to just go and dance to nice music. But when you're in that range, it's probably just a bunch of honey-ass teenagers wanting to bang on each other.
Yeah,
And,
probably so.
So, I mean, okay, another thing that was gross is that half the people smoke there. So,
I hate smoking.
like, you're waiting outside to get in, and it's just clouds of smoke. And you get in, and the smoke just kind of wafts in. So, it's just a really uncomfortable environment. And, like, for me, I like classy girls. So, even the slightest, like the fact that you would go into public where there's hundreds of people that are going to see you, and you're dressed in nothing but, like, a bra top and panties. Not even like a bathing suit. Like, obviously, like lace see-through, you know, showing your goodies. Like, how does that not say something about your moral character? Like,
I don't know.
That's obviously not a classy
I
girl.
mean, just
And I
playing
don't-
devil's advocate, you might just be reading too much into it.
Okay, I can
What?
guarantee you right now. If the four of us go to a club, don't look at any girls and just dance, we'll look like idiots. Okay? You could be
Why
like,
would you
why
do
are those
that?
4 gay guys just dancing? Go find another club. Like, okay, but like I thought the first time I go to a club, I thought it was just gonna be like, okay, they'll play some cool, you know, top 40 music with some cool beats and shit, and then that's it. But all the songs are like techno songs that are super fast paced.
It's a dubstep
that are
revolution.
designed nothing more than fast butt jiggling.
That's
by
the whole
girls. Like,
point.
like, it's hard to dance to. Like, I like something slower. We can like rock with it, you know.
Well, maybe
More
you
like
just need to
prom.
get faster or something. I don't know.
Like, I don't know. Like, none of the songs had a beat that I just like felt like I could hold the whole night. And all the songs sounded the same. Really.
Yeah. Well, you're not really much of a dancer.
Wait, which club did you go to?
But I like dancing. Like, if I'm in a situation where there's people around me that are there specifically to dance, like at prom or something, where people are like, you know what, let's dance, let's have a good time, rather than let's look at that girl
Billy
shake her ass
Bounce
for
is
20
pretty
minutes,
good.
then I don't want to go to a freaking honky tonk.
Why not?
Mikey.
It's better than a club.
I am the
Mikey?
opposite of a
Okay,
country
wait,
person.
wait, stop. How would you know if you have not been to a club?
Because I've seen movies.
That
Not
Plus,
the same.
it's not this. You
Is
need
it
to.
worse or-
You need to
It's way
experience
worse.
it.
See, so I'm taking Daniel's word for it. That's why I don't want to go to a club.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to go
Why
back to a
don't
club.
you haven't been to either, Corey, so shut the F up.
I never.
Ah, yeah. Get it.
That's what's up.
All I'm trying to say
Oh,
is
that-
you haven't
that
been to
definitely
one, so
peaked.
how would you know?
And maybe it's something you just have to experience. Like, that's the whole reason I went. Like, I kind of had this preconception, you know, from movies and things like
Yeah.
that's kind of a place where people just go to grind on each other, and it's not really for dancing. It's just for, you know, that kind of thing. And I was like, you know what?
It's just one of those
I
things
don't
you have
need
to
to
do
be
before you
judgmental
die.
if I've never been. I need to, you know, have this experience.
Yeah.
I don't want to have it again because my suspicions were correct. Like, it is
Yeah.
not an enjoyable.
You just felt like it was one of those things you needed to do before you died.
No, it's just one of those things I needed to do so that when
I
I
also-
bash it, I actually know what I'm talking about.
I also think
Oh.
it depends on the club.
And it probably
That's
depends a
probably
lot on
true.
the age level as well.
Yeah.
But when it's a club for young people, it's just a honey ass, you know,
It's
honey
boners.
clusterfuck.
But okay.
All right.
And on that note, we're going to take a short break.
All right.
We will be right back. And welcome back.
All right. So, Daniel, you had a comment about something I said off camera.
Okay.
And
What was it?
what was that? You don't remember?
You don't even remember.
Swamp ass.
What is swamp ass?
When I
we
stood up-
took a break because you had to use the restroom, and you
Yeah.
said I got a mad case of swamp ass. What is swamp ass?
It's very similar to sitting in ball soup. It's when you sit still for a while and just like that pocket of sweat is created like under your balls and above your asshole.
Mikey.
Mikey, I'm not sure, but I don't think you were talking into the mic.
Oh, right.
What was your question? What did you say?
So it's in your bush then, instead of underneath your balls.
No. It's
Did
under
you
your
say
balls.
in the bush?
No, it's not in
The
the
hair. Hair on your testicles. Is that better?
Dude, when I think of the bush, that's above.
Yeah, that's north.
That's like from your belly.
That's what I'm
button
talking
to
about,
your-
like swamp.
What's
I'm thinking like a lot of like vegetation,
No.
a lot of hair. I don't know.
no, like
Vegetation?
swamp weather.
There's cornfields in there, you know. You're just like
No, not like that. You
There
get
might-
a little comb and just.
They get like the little moss.
Why are we
things.
talking about this?
I'm not.
Yeah,
such
I
a
don't
weird-
freaking know.
You're
What's
the one who
That's
started
why-
it up.
That is why I did not
Daniel.
say anything that whole
Does
time.
anyone know what that area of body is called between
Pubic
your
hair?
asshole?
Fupa?
Oh.
Your what?
Or, like above, like between the balls and the ass?
Yeah.
No, I do not.
It's like
You guys?
the back of the knee. It doesn't have a name.
Mike,
True
you
story.
just blew my mind.
I thought it was still, I thought it's still considered the knee. Like when people say, "Can you lick your elbow?" Like, doesn't that count? Like,
No,
can you do
it
that?
doesn't
That is not
count.
your elbow.
That's not your
It's the
elbow.
inside.
That's your elbow pit.
It's the
That's what I call it because there's no name. This is the elbow pit. That's the knee pit.
knee pit.
Yeah, that's the arm pit. It's the pit of your arm. That's the pit of your elbow. The pit. Maybe that's just like your ball pit. It's your ball pit. It's because it's under your ball. What's that? What's that? Is that what that's called at like Chuck E. Cheese or whatever? Whenever they
Ball pit, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, the ball
right.
pit.
Yeah.
We had to go home. It's
Kid friendly now.
one of my favorite moments on Family Guy when Stewie comes home and catches Brian doing something. I don't remember. And Brian was like, "I thought you were at Chuck E. Cheese all day." And Stewie was like, "We had to cancel. Some kid died in the ball pit."
That's when he's married to Olivia.
Oh
And
yeah,
that- and
yeah.
that
He
little
comes home and the
cardboard
other
house
dude.
thing. It's just,
Is
"Oh, I
that
thought you were at
the
Chuck E.
silly putty
Yeah,
I bought you this weekend?"
Yeah.
I love Family Guy so much.
Best show.
What do you guys say your favorite TV shows are?
Okay.
Scrubs.
Okay, well, it's tough. For me, Scrubs and The Office are like right there. Like those are
gotta pick Scrubs.
definitely
Like for me, it's How I Met Your Mother and The Office are right there, like tied for each
really.
other.
I mean,
But Scrubs,
that's
Scrubs
still
are-
one of my like. It's for me, it's Scrubs, Office,
The
and then
Scruffus.
Family Guy. How I Met Your Mother is another one. That's generally like the top four.
I don't know why. Like, I think it's something about like cartoons. The cartoon characters don't have as, as sophisticated facial expressions. And for me, I like a lot of visual humor as much as just the actual delivery of the joke. So like seeing somebody's face, like make a funny face, or seeing them fly across the room, like if they get punched or something. It's always funnier when it's like a real person. So like even though I like shows like Family Guy and South Park, even though I don't watch them that often, just because I don't, not because I don't like them.
Yeah.
But I definitely like live action comedy a lot more than cartoon comedy.
That makes sense.
Fair enough.
Which is weird because I only watched cartoons as a kid. I never watched like live action stuff. So I don't know. Maybe
Me
it's
too.
because I was withheld from that. So now that
I don't
have it,
know.
I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Mikey, all you like are superheroes.
No,
What'd you say your favorite TV shows?
mine would be Boy Meets World or
Dude, that's a great
Avatar:
show.
The Last Airbender.
Dude,
Those are
so
both. Those are
good.
both amazing shows.
Like,
Corey,
those are-
see, Corey's the only one here that doesn't like either.
Like Boy Meets World.
I never said that.
Are you? Well, you.
I just said they weren't my favorites.
Yeah,
Okay.
But you
Uh,
like,
I never said I didn't like them.
Like I started watching Boy Meets World on accident because it came on after Growing Pains.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Growing Pains was going out of its cycle, and Boy Meets World was like kind of in the middle, still starting.
Yeah.
And they happened to air back to back, and I thought one day I turned it on. I thought I was watching that show, and it actually was Boy Meets World, and I was like, "What is this? Oh, this is pretty good." And then I just started watching it like crazy. Like that was
Yeah,
a great
dude.
show.
I have seasons
It only
one-
has like 6 seasons, right?
No, there's 7. I have.
Oh, there is?
I have 1 through 6 right now, and 7 comes out later this month on DVD.
How is that
show's been
not-
closed?
Yeah.
How they not have that?
I don't know
already?
why they did it now, but like
I have no
they
idea.
started like releasing the DVDs.
That's crazy.
Did they not have like a box set, or are you
Mhm.
buying them all individually?
They're doing, like,
Is that
it-
expensive to buy them all
No,
individually?
they're
Dude,
like
I-
$20 each.
That's pretty pricey.
For me, like I don't care.
Like-
so
like, I
it's
buy-
Boy Meets World.
I buy Scrubs
worth it.
online for like
It is.
$15.
Dude, it's like 4 years later. Oh, dude, we should probably do season 7 now, right? Yeah, we're a little late
No,
on that.
they closed the show a long time ago.
Yeah.
They
That's what I'm
never made a
saying.
DVD.
Yeah.
That's
like,
that's my point.
The series
I was like,
ended
it was
like
like,
in 2000.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, never mind. It's like
Yeah.
so late.
My favorite. I'm gonna sound like a douche because like my favorite shows are like the really dramatic shows that are not on like the local channels or whatever.
Were we talking about comedies? Because we
True
all
Blood?
listed comedies. Like,
No,
were you
that's
just
that's what I'm
shows in
saying.
general?
Yeah, I was saying shows in
Oh,
general.
okay. You're more sophisticated.
Yeah, my
With your
favorite my
TV.
favorite TV show is Mad Men, which like none of you have ever watched.
Yeah, I have.
Nope.
Yeah,
So then
My,
I-
my dad watched it. He likes it a lot because
Oh.
it deals with the advertising agency.
yeah,
right?
that's it's why I'm going into
Like,
advertising.
Like my dad is like his job is like an executive at an advertising firm.
Yeah,
so
and that's
like he's like hooked on it.
yeah. Well, your dad does more of like the artistic.
Well, he got
Side
a
of
new
it.
job. He's an executive at a company now. He doesn't notice I'm a business anymore.
Oh,
He
nice.
did, but now he's.
Oh, that's more steady, though.
executive. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why he did it
But
because he's getting older and he doesn't want to have to like
I also
do freelance.
I also like Dexter a lot. My kid's shaking his head. Not Dexter's
that-
Lab.
Oh, okay,
Dexter.
okay, okay, okay.
No, I knew what you're talking
Not
about.
his
I just
lab.
don't know. I've never seen it.
I thought you were talking about Dexter's Lab. I was like, that is the worst. Like Cartoon Network cartoons hold nothing against Nickelodeon, but
Dude, that's
another,
such
another
crap.
Debate.
That's
We already
such
had
crap,
the debate
dude.
on another podcast, but
Okay.
Okay.
I do like Dexter. It's like Lost, but without all the cheesy shit.
Yeah, and
Like
never
like the
watched Lost.
the mystery aspect of it is, it's like they combined Law and Order and Lost and got an awesome show. Like
yeah,
that's what I
that
look
that has
at.
like none of the same plot lines at all as
Well,
as
it's-
either
it's
one
like,
of those shows.
It's like it's like the whole police drama type of thing with like the mystery aspect of Lost.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Dexter is about a blood forensic specialist with the Miami Police Department, and he is also a serial killer that only kills other murderers, too, because he like has a bloodlust.
So he's a vigilante.
Kind of a vigilante. He's kind of an anti-hero type of thing. Like he's a hero, but he's also a villain. You don't know what.
Yeah.
Like you love him and you feel kind of awkward
Like
about
a
it.
tragic hero.
Yeah, tragic hero. That's perfect.
Yeah, and that's
perfect.
what makes it really interesting.
Yeah, like
That
I
would
love comedies.
explain-
Like I love The Office and I love Family Guy. Like I love those shows, but dramas are where it's at.
Yeah, there's something about having more sophisticated, as
Yeah,
far as
it's
the
well.
plot that,
The thing
makes
is
it
that
interesting.
I think more so than you three guys, I'm really, really into like film, like
No,
like
I
movies
am
and
too,
TV
yeah.
shows. Like I'm slowly building a very, very large collection.
Oh, you want to talk about large? You know how many movies my dad has at home?
No,
Yeah,
that's
like-
not where I thought you were going with that.
Oh.
But okay.
Talk about large. I have a massive collection of DVDs.
Oh
I
man,
didn't mean to sound like that, but yeah, he's got over 500 movies.
are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not even.
Like I just made my top 50 list.
See,
and,
like,
looking
I don't
through it.
understand the whole owning movies thing. Like, I'm not the kind of person who watches movies over and over.
I watch
watch
the-
TV
Jim,
over and over. Like,
the-
seasons
like,
I like, I watch them all.
The
at
thing,
least
I
6
get
times.
so into a specific movie. Like I bought Citizen Kane, which many people agree, many critics agree is like the best, like the greatest film of all time. It's like the unofficial greatest film of all time. And I got
Okay,
that. I watched it.
I honestly don't think they could ever actually be the best film of all time.
No. Just like Roger Ebert, who is like the mecca of film
Like-
critics, he said that like it's just
Like a
it's
lot of-
it's basically common thought among film critics that Citizen Kane is the greatest film of all time.
Plus, and it's also like that's based off of what directors now base their movies off of.
Yeah.
Like they. Base
I mean,
it
I'm not.
off-
I'm not saying that's not true.
In-
Just I don't think there will ever actually be.
I think there's too many genres for
Yeah,
one genre to be
right,
better than another.
exactly.
No,
But, like,
no. But one movie still has to be the best. You know, there's
It
always the
doesn't
best.
have to.
Well, no,
I'm
hang on,
just-
wait. It can be
just
best
saying-
in its genre.
Yeah, that's you're missing the point though. The point is there can't be just a solid best because it's an opinion thing. There can't just
Yeah,
be one best. No one can
obviously.
agree.
There's no
But
way
it's
to,
just
like-
it's unspoken
That's-
thought.
yes.
But it's I'm not saying best, and I'm not saying like the most well made, but Citizen Kane is the greatest, as in most influential.
Okay.
And like most
Okay, in that aspect,
influential
okay.
from an artistic standpoint compared to the time. It's just.
Okay.
It's just and it's not there's no official anything. They're like all of
That's
the
basically what I was trying to say. Is that
Yeah.
there's not
like,
gonna be-
the most respected lists of like the best movies in history listed as number one. It's number one on more lists than anything else, and more critics say that it's the greatest film of all time. And it's not saying that's the most favorited, because like if you ask a movie critic, they'll tell you what their favorite is, and they'll tell you what the greatest movie of all time is.
Yeah.
But like that's way beside the point. All I'm
Okay.
saying is like I bought Citizen Kane. I watched it 3 times in 24 hours. I bought The Social Network. I watched it twice in 12 hours.
That's
And-
a good
Okay.
movie.
Like,
I haven't seen that one either.
going back to the owning movies thing, I think the reason why I like owning TV shows versus movies is because when I own a TV show, I can watch seasons one, even just watching one season. It's 3 to 4 hours, possibly 5 hours of content. And then you can start over, and you feel like you're not starting from the beginning because you've already, it's like 5 hours going back. But
Yeah.
when you're watching a movie that's an hour and 20 minutes and you start over, it feels like you haven't gone anywhere. Why are you going back to the beginning? So if you're watching a show like Scrubs,
I
that's 9
disagree. I
seasons,
completely and
and you
totally
watch
disagree.
you watch seasons 1 through 9. That's like 4 days worth of stuff. So when you go back and watch the first episode of season 1, it's like you're starting over, but it feels like there's been time that's elapsed rather than
Well,
a
there
movie
is-
where
there is
there's
time that's elapsed, but that's
it's
why-
almost like there's no time elapsed. So why watch it? Why watch it again?
But there
That
is
honestly
there is
just sounds
time
like the
elapsed, though.
same thing.
Yeah, the thing is with TV shows, with TV shows, there are a lot of meaningless plot lines. There are a lot of episodes that go nowhere and pander because in the long run, there's one giant overarching plot arc.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But there are smaller plot arcs within it that are less meaningful, which is why like you go back to the beginning and you forget stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that's funny.
Because it's been
Both
so
of-
long since you've seen it. Because you've been watching.
But that doesn't make it better.
24 hours.
The
of
fact
content.
that length doesn't make it better. The thing is that
I'm not saying better. I'm just saying like when
I
you
just-
go back to the beginning,
and don't get me
you
wrong.
don't feel like you were just there.
Yeah,
You
okay,
felt
okay,
like
okay,
it's
okay,
been a
okay,
while.
okay. Just don't get me wrong. I love TV, and I will sit down. Like I heard that 30 Rock was a good show, and I never got around to watching it. So I went and I watched all 5 seasons that are on Netflix in like 2 days. Totally worth it. Great show. And I love TV. I watch a lot of TV, not on TV, on Netflix, just seasons. But I don't think a TV show could ever move you and like affect you the way a movie can. Movies are so dynamic, and the shortness of it compared to seasons of a TV show They just get more done, and everything is more meaningful and more powerful that way.
And see, that's where I disagree, because I feel like on a TV show, you get to know the characters because you've seen them for so long that even a small plot arc or the overarching plot arc, when it hits a key moment, you feel it more because you're more connected with the character because you've been watching them for, 8 seasons. Like that. Like that's what it was to me. Like there's seasons in Scrubs where like when JD goes through like a really hard like breakup or something, 4 seasons in to the show, I feel that more than watching a movie and the main character does the same thing after only 15 minutes.
The thing is that what you just said would be true if like they elapsed time the same in both, or and if things were as dynamic in TV shows as they were in movies. But the thing is, in a movie, you get just as attached to a character in the same amount of time. Well, then you're not trying hard enough.
See, that's more of a you thing.
Yeah, that's more of a you thing. But in general, they do. And the thing is that they can cover more time. Like they can cover like a TV show can't cover any. TV shows go in real time. They can't cover a 20-year gap in 4 seasons. A movie can cover 80 years. It can cover an entire life in one movie.
Yeah,
like TV shows move slower. Like like I said, I love TV, but it's just too. They seem so similar, but I can't really compare them in my head because they're totally different experiences.
Yeah, I mean I can agree with that.
Like
just,
watching a TV show is like hanging out with your friends. And watching a movie is, or like hanging out with your friends, weekly for a couple years, like being in high school. Whereas a movie is like hanging out with a celebrity for a day, like it's. You get what I mean? Because you're like starstruck and stuff, and you're trying to do as much as you can in one day, and it's really special, and you remember it forever. But then,
Well, plus, I mean, I agree with you on what you were saying before, too. Because it's like, how can you not feel what a character's feeling in a movie rather than a TV show?
Because I haven't seen them on screen long.
But haven't you seen that, like, in other things? It's the same thing.
What do you mean?
Like, you've seen other movies or TV shows that's dealt with that. So just because you don't know the character, that doesn't mean you don't know how they feel.
Let's use example I use, like a character going through a breakup. If I've only seen that character on screen for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and that's how the movie starts with him going through a breakup, and then the rest of the movie is about that, how am I supposed to feel for that character going through a breakup? If one,
have you seen
I don't
Walk
care
to
about
Remember?
actors, so I don't know half the actors anyway, and 2, I don't know the character because I've only just started watching the movie.
Okay, but
Whereas
don't
if
you?
the character
Okay.
on a TV show that I've been watching for 16 hours worth of footage, I've obviously connected with that.
But the
character
thing is,
more
like,
in that time,
this is exactly what I'm saying
them on screen
about.
longer.
Okay, this is exactly what I'm saying about how a movie moves you more. Because with a TV show, like when I watch Scrubs, JD goes through a breakup. I feel like I'm watching my friend go through a breakup. When I'm watching a movie and a character is going through a breakup, I feel like I compare it to myself. Like, yeah, I've been in that situation and I feel for it.
Yes.
When I but they're two totally different experiences. They're not supposed to be comparable. And but like. Because like because JD is a character that a lot of people get attached to because it's just because it focuses on him so heavily.
Ego.
So like when something happens to him, it's like if I was watching something happen to Mikey. But when I watch a movie like 500 Days of Summer and Tom, the main character, goes through a breakup, I compare it to myself and I feel it.
I don't know.
That's
flip-flop
like-
it for me. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not
like-
saying I'm not
like-
saying one's better than the other. I'm just saying they're both good and they're both different. They're not supposed to be compared.
Like, let's talk about something kind of on the same thing.
Okay.
It used to be where the big bucks are in the movies, but with TV shows spanning 10 seasons, like Scrubs spanning like 9 seasons, that kind of thing. Like shows like Friends that are super long. Things like that, like
Well, okay,
hold on, but and obviously there's a comparison of is it better to be a TV actor and be on tons of episodes of the same show, or is it good to only hit a movie every 4 or 5 times maybe within a couple of years? Why is movies better if really you're on screen for that much longer? And then when you really think about it, with the addition of YouTube and that kind of thing, internet people who only have internet content and aren't on the big screen or even a TV show, they're people like Phil DeFranco are still celebrities because they have hundreds of people watching them.
Well,
so
they're
it's
internet celebrities.
But still, it's like a bunch of people know who they are. Like the Smosh guys, like everybody knows who those guys
No,
are.
you'd be surprised how many people don't.
Yeah.
Okay, but like what I'm saying, is there going to be a point where TV or the internet is going to be just as for actors, they always want to make it to the big screen. But is there ever going to be a point where being on internet or being on TV is going to be just as awesome as far as maybe popularity and pay scale?
The
and that
thing
kind of
is-
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Why-
If TV
Why is
was
it- why is it like
TV
that?
was ever going to overtake the movies, it would have been in the 90s.
Okay. So
Or
but
it
what
would
about
it
the
would have been in
internet?
the 80s and 90s. Internet, that's more of I have no idea because internet content can go in a million different directions. It's definitely possible. But the thing is,
Those
TV
things
shows,
aren't made
yeah.
to be mixed.
The thing from like appreciating what goes into it, a TV show is writer driven, whereas a movie is director and oftentimes actor driven.
A movie is actor driven.
Yeah, movies are actor
Okay.
driven because they have to convey the amount of emotion. They have to make you attached to a character.
In
They have to
like
stay.
less
They
than
have,
2 hours.
they have to be dynamic and stay real at the same time. Whereas a TV actor, it's much more heavy on the writers.
Yeah,
to
I
get a
can
point
see that.
across because you don't have to.
Because they have to write more, obviously.
Yeah,
you know?
like an actor in a movie has to show everything at the same time. At the same time, show nothing and be real. Whereas an actor on TV just plays a person. They only have to show an emotion at a time. They're
that was
they're
nice.
inherent. Yeah, I like it.
That was from
So-
water. There's no caffeination or anything.
You just swallow less. You should
Yeah,
swallow
well,
less air.
I don't think that would happen. I still think the big screen is just going to be the big screen.
Well, when I think about it, like the more and more people are watching their movies. Don't do that, Mike. You're gonna spill. More and more people are watching their content on the internet. They're not renting DVDs. They're not going to the movies. They're like, oh, I'll just wait for Netflix to come out. So people are already viewing their content on the internet. What's to stop them from viewing content based on the internet? You know, like that's what I'm saying. Like people that don't use internet as far as viewing things, obviously they're not going to know. But people that use Netflix and Hulu and things, they're used to looking at content on the internet. So what's stopping them from looking at things like YouTube or
because the
Revision
content
3?
on the internet
It's not the
isn't-
same.
It's not the same. It's not as good.
Right.
I'm just
guess so.
until there is like long version internet content that's strictly internet content, then it can't overtake it. Because the thing is, the longest content stuff that's on the internet, other than videos of lectures, is webisodes of existing TV shows.
Okay,
You know what I
get
mean?
that. Yeah.
So
at what point is a director going to be like, we're going to make a brand new TV show, but we're only going to release it on the internet? Like, when is that?
But the
gonna
thing is,
come?
that's
I
not
don't-
that's
I
I
not
don't think
the
that's going to come fast because people
Why?
are already watching their content on Netflix.
Okay, but then that's-
why wouldn't NBC host a 30-minute show on their own website? And they already do things. They do reruns like The Office, and they show it on the website. So what's stopping a director from having an
only posting
internet-only
content on the
show?
website.
Not everyone
money
has that
They-
option.
They do that. Like, or sort of like they have like this Mortal Kombat like legacy thing that's only on the internet. It's like 15 minutes an episode or something like that.
Yeah. I think it's coming.
It's
I
not it's
don't
not
know.
coming
Just-
until there's money there. You,
Well,
Well,
they don't
there
get-
is a lot of money there.
There
Well,
is
they,
that
they don't,
a
it's
lot of
not
money
as
there,
much
that's the
money
problem.
as
There's that, but then not
'cause, like,
everyone has that either.
I think it's
Has
also
what? Internet?
Yes.
well, it's also not as advertised as much because most
That
of
too.
it's on TV and it's
yeah.
harder to get that.
Commercials
around
are
on
where the
internet.
money's at, and when ads are 15 minutes long,
Yeah.
or 15 seconds long on the
Mo-
internet.
most are 30
It's a
seconds.
long-
Okay, well, 15 to 30 seconds long, the money just isn't there. And the thing is, at the time that it is going to become like internet based, people just aren't going to watch TV. It's just going to be TV on the internet, and there's going to be no difference.
Yeah, so I'm saying,
And-
at what
but-
point is that going to happen?
Well,
Pretty
it's
soon,
it's
you think, or 5 years, 10 years? I think
I'd
it'll be
say-
soon.
I would say
don't
with-
think it'd be.
within the
I'd
next.
say be
Or-
within 5 years.
I say 24, 30.
Mikey, I think
The month 24?
No, hold on.
2,430 is what he's saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, I don't see it. I don't see it as one big switch. I could see TV shows of the like sitcom style TV shows being on the internet because they're cheaper to make. But shows like I think there's going to be a split type of thing where shows in the vein of The Office or animated shows like Family Guy or sitcoms like How I Met Your Mother, Big Bang Theory, in that same vein of shows.
Oh, that's another one. I
Or
forgot
like
that one.
30 Rock and stuff like that. I could see those being on the internet because it's low production costs and it doesn't rely on any HD shots or anything like that. But shows in the vein of like Lost or Fringe that are really, really concept driven, really visually driven,
Yeah.
those are going to be on TV. TVs are only going to be HD. They're only going to show HD quality content. Whereas shows that are filmed, as like sitcoms, like I said, will be on the internet because they don't need as high of a quality picture.
Okay, but we're also in the age where HD is mandatory, regardless of what kind of content you're doing. If you're a filmmaker, like independent filmmaker, you do stuff for YouTube, gotta have HD. Like you have SD, it looks terrible.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, even the independent guys, and even a show that doesn't need as fancy visuals, they still use HD, and they still got the fancy equipment. So
And the thing is that you can't switch. The internet can't take over TV until sporting events go to the internet, and they're not going to anytime
That's
soon.
true.
ESPN three.
Yeah, but
What
ESPN3 can only
That's-
exist
yeah.
if ESPN is still on TV. Like, there's no money in ESPN3 compared to the money they're making
On
on TV.
ESPN.
And the thing is that these all the different leagues and specific bowl games and playoff games they make deals with TV stations, and they
Yeah,
get
that
a
too.
crap
ABC.
load of money.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
they-
bowl
'cause-
games is nothing but ranking in the cash.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the same thing everywhere. The same thing with the Olympics signing on with a channel. They can, like signing on with a website until they're like website stations that have the same ability to generate money. It's just
It's
I
not
mean,
it's
I
not there.
understand that,
It's
but
not there.
but I can see it getting to that point. Is what I'm getting at.
I
from-
wouldn't expect the next 5 years. Like you're saying. I
like,
don't think it would. be that
Theoretically,
quick.
it seems like it would be easy to happen, but I think there's a lot more
Yeah.
from a financial feasible standpoint. That's
I would
gonna go
say
into
at least 10 to 15.
because the thing is, like with NBC, for example, GE General Electric owns NBC, and that's where they get a lot of their money and cash flow from. So until a corporation, as on the gigantic scale of like GE,
I
owns.
just remembered something.
What just happened?
I just remembered something.
all they saw was Mikey doing this,
Yeah, dude. What,
and then all of a sudden he goes,
I think Mikey just had his first epiphany. Anyways, until like a gigantic corporation owns a website and uses it only for content separate from their own interests, that's what it would take to happen. There needs to be cash flow that isn't solely based on what's on the website. It
Gotta
needs to
have
be
money.
An external company.
all right, Mikey. What was that thought you had?
Oh, like I remember he was talking about Olympics on the channel, and then it reminded me. I saw on YouTube Usain Bolt. He got disqualified at the World Championships or whatever for track because he false started.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, hold on. When somebody false starts, they just restart the whole thing.
No, they disqualified him for
Yeah.
that.
That
do.
never like if somebody false starts at the Olympics, they just start over.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
They disqualify him.
Yeah, they can't win.
It's not like Dragster where they hit the red. They like if people false start, they just restart.
No, they don't.
Well, no,
I've seen it
Well,
so many times where they restart.
apparently they
Yeah,
changed
well,
it.
yeah, they changed it.
They might-
This is on YouTube.
Yeah, they
I'm
might
pretty
re-
sure it's real.
So that's legit.
It's real.
Yeah, they might restart
it's
it
on YouTube.
If it's
Hey,
on
He was
YouTube.
They might-
pissed.
Anything
That
we
seems-
do on YouTube is legit.
That seems a little hypocritical, but I think maybe if more than one runner false starts, or if there's a sound that makes them false start. But if a runner just takes a step right before everyone else starts, I could see how they would disqualify him.
Yeah, because like, well, the other Jamaican guy won, but still.
Cool Runnings. Codename Cool Runnings.
But yeah, he was mad.
Have you guys ever been to Jamaica?
Nope.
I have been to Jamaica,
Did you
and
go
it's like
bobsledding?
Well,
it's like going to the ghetto part of a city, and that's just the whole country.
What? Really?
Jamaica.
I thought Jamaica was
Okay.
like nothing but beaches and resorts.
Yeah.
That's what the pictures lead you to believe, but it is ghetto.
Did they
as-
have like
Dude,
a,
that-
Are you
Like,
sure? Oh,
okay.
Wait. Are you sure
That-
that's not just where you were?
I've
Hold
been
on.
to Jamaica twice.
Dude, that-
yes,
that
I'm,
sounds-
I'm
Did
sure.
you go bobsledding? Did they have like a bobsledding facility?
Mikey, shut up. Hey, no, that sounds just like Cancun. Because people who go to the resorts, it's always cool. You get all these like ocean breezes and everything. I've been to the city, like miles in from the coast.
Yeah.
It is nothing but 100. It's like Texas heat, like this summer.
Yeah.
But it's been like that for years. And people have like
Yeah.
nothing but concrete.
The thing
houses
is that, like-
with no air conditioning. It is miserably hot. Like,
Other
it
than
is just
maybe
awful to go
like
to.
other than maybe isolated. I mean, even the beaches in Jamaica aren't very good. It's like take the idea of going to a tropical place and going outside of the resort area, and that's just the whole island. There is no resort area.
Oh really?
Yeah, like the beaches are ghetto too. It's.
Yeah. I have not left this country, so
Are you serious?
I'm
Me
dead
neither.
serious.
I've been to Mexico 3 times, maybe 4 times.
I've been to Mexico.
But that's when it was like not.
I have
overrun
never
by
left
lords.
Yeah.
the United States of America.
I've been to Mexico 5 times, Jamaica twice.
Why?
I went to
just for vacation.
Yeah, cruises.
Oh, dude. When you spend
What?
one night, when you spend an afternoon because the boat's stopping there, that's not the same thing.
Why? How's it not the same thing?
Hold on. Okay, when the boat stops and you get off and you walk around the city and get back on and only being there for 8 hours, it's different from when you're living.
You gotta spend the
When
night.
you're staying there for like 3 or 4 days.
Okay, here's the thing. I had to get a passport to go there, therefore I was there. So, I mean, whether you're there,
That's like somebody who's on a connecting flight saying that
it's
they
not on a
spent-
kick. That would be like if I went to. That would be like if we docked in Mexico and I didn't get off the boat. That's what that would be.
No,
like.
you could still get off the boat and drive or like walk around, but you're not really getting it when you're leaving that night.
Because
Or the
if you
next-
on a connecting flight, you can't leave the airport. That's not the same. Nobody. That's a stupid comparison.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
knew, as
I-
soon
I
as I
have-
said that, I knew you were gonna make that comparison. And
Really?
it's freaking stupid.
I
yes.
have done connecting flights.
Yeah.
By the way, the Pittsburgh airport, that thing's
Yeah.
a mall.
Really?
That is not an airport.
That's how the airport in Detroit is too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is because that's I went to
Were you
Detroit after I went to
were you stopping
Pittsburgh.
it? Did you stop for a Lions game?
Yeah.
No.
I was the only one there.
God. Hey, did the Cowboys play today?
No.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
No.
No,
they're-
their last preseason game was like Thursday.
I know, but
Yeah.
they're supposed to be at the Jets, like at at the Jets.
Maybe
sometime.
now.
we're
but the game
playing.
isn't
We're
there.
playing at the
Probably
New York
over
Jets
by
on
now.
9/11. Like,
That's our first game.
yes,
Because weren't there already NFL games that started this weekend, or is that till next week?
that's next
I know
weekend.
college
okay.
Like,
started.
Because college football started.
College, yeah.
Like, if there was
Iowa won.
all of
Good
the
job, Mike.
ideals of patriotism, all the ideals of patriotism are against the Cowboys winning because we're playing the New York Jets in
Oh.
New York on 9/11.
That's so terrible, dude. They should not. They should not have the Jets playing
That
on
was
9/11.
I don't know who planned that out. Like, they should have the Giants playing because like
Yeah.
New York and Jets, it's just like it's a little
Benny and the
distasteful.
Jets. What was that?
Oh my,
Yeah.
Mikey!
In the same way
we
that-
were talking about something very serious, and you talk about
Dude,
Benny
I was-
Jets.
Kids that were born if a kid was born on 9/11,
That sucks.
they no, just
Well-
theoretically if kids
Oh.
that were born on 9/11 are the same age that I was during 9/11. Isn't that weird? Because it doesn't feel like it was 10 years ago.
What are you
I
talking about?
Yes.
9/11.
9/11.
Oh, okay.
Are you dumb?
I get what you're
What are we
saying.
talking
No,
about?
I didn't understand what you
Where
meant with
were
the
you
whole
in this
age
time
comparison
period?
thing. Like I thought you said they're the same age now as you are, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay,
No, no,
but
no.
I get what you're saying.
It doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
I can understand that. And
That's
like,
weird.
there's a lot of people who are like, how can you not remember? People fucking forget Pearl Harbor. Like, I don't know the date of Pearl Harbor. I mean,
it was
like,
December.
doesn't
It was
surprise
December
me.
7th, 1941.
Yep.
You're a history nut.
Yes,
And
I
a
am.
film
I knew that.
Okay, so we got interrupted because the battery died on the camera. But what
Yeah.
I was talking about is it doesn't surprise me how people like can forget about it because like the reason for me is because my school they didn't want to like make people panic, and obviously we're all kids. We don't really know
Right.
what's going on, and
Was that
like
fourth
we
grade?
would either one
Third
not
grade.
understand or two
I
we'd
was in
panic
third.
because we don't know what's going on.
You must have skipped.
What are you guys
grade.
talking about?
What grade we were in?
We were in fourth
We're
grade.
in fourth grade.
You're the
sure?
odd one out, my friend.
Okay.
All three
but-
of us are positive.
Okay. But what I'm getting at is like
You must-
they.
Sorry.
the kids don't know the implications of what's going on because they're still young. So they'll either one freak out because they won't understand, or they'll either freak out or they won't understand. So our teachers blocked us from media altogether. They didn't tell us about it. They didn't show it on TV. Like my dad picked me up from school, drove me back, and like at 4 o'clock I was like, "What's on the news?" And there's like a building on fire, and I didn't really understand.
Yeah, that's probably
So-
what it was like.
See,
Like that's
I don't
why
know.
I don't remember it
Maybe-
because I was blocked from it supposedly for my own good.
maybe I was just more worldly when I was that age, but like,
You were more mature.
well, they told us what was going on, and no one else seemed to really know. But I freaked out, like mentally freaking out, because I knew what was going on, and I went home and I watched the coverage for the rest of the night.
I didn't. I like
did.
glanced at it and was like, "That stinks."
See, no, I watched the
But,
coverage.
I mean, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Just watch it for hours?
thing
and
is, but,
hours
like,
and-
I was-
mean, yeah, I feel sorry for the people. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, but the thing is that I was like the fourth grader that was watching the History Channel instead of cartoons, oftentimes.
Dude,
CBS.
when I was in when I was in third grade, I was like into politics.
I thought
Like
we
I
were
watched
fourth
like Hardball
grade.
with Chris Matthews, like during the like
Chris
the
Matthews
election.
is a fucking idiot.
Like during the election. And, like,
I'm not
all
gonna
that.
get into my political idea.
Okay,
Chris
but
Matthews
the
is an
point is,
idiot.
like, I was really into politics back then, so like, I mean, I was pretty
Third
mature
grade?
for my age. Like, I wasn't the kind of kid who just like
third
watched
grade?
cartoons and things. Yeah,
Yeah, I used to watch C-SPAN with my grandpa.
that's when the 2000 election was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You guys are weird.
Mike,
Mikey,
you're
I
I just
Asian. You
watched
can't.
Nickelodeon. I don't know what you.
I did too. I was on Recall.
I just watched like Hey Arnold.
Okay.
Hey Arnold's good.
I figured out what happened later on that day, but I don't think I really got the full grasp of it until I was a little older, and like they were actually telling us about it.
See, I feel
like,
completely different. Like I grasped it immediately. You know, like
I didn't get it.
I understood what
I
was
mean,
going on.
I didn't
like, the
really
whole time.
understand what terrorism was. Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
just thought it was
Well, yeah,
like.
that too.
I mean, there's been things like people bombing buildings, parking cars, things going off. Like there's been acts of terror before. So I just thought this was like another thing, and yeah, it sucks. But what else is gonna happen?
It's a
what
pretty
else
big
is new?
thing.
I
felt-
didn't know how like unique it was, like to the circumstance compared to other acts of terrorism.
I felt worse later because at the time they were like, "Okay, we're gonna release you guys early," and I didn't
get
hear
released
anything.
early.
yet.
I didn't get out
did.
of school.
I didn't get.
Yeah.
I didn't get released early either.
Oh, really?
remember.
Oh, okay, yeah. My dad
But
picked me
why?
up from school at like noon or something.
Okay, but why would they release you early? Like,
I-
on what?
I have no
grounds? Is the
idea.
school gonna get bombed next?
Like,
We're in
I-
Texas.
They really.
nat-
Hey,
it's a
look.
national
Okay, here's the
tragedy.
thing. Here, yeah, national
Oh, we don't have
tragedy.
a day off of school on September 11th.
Okay, no, but,
Well, no, but that
at this
specific
point,
day, yeah.
they didn't know who else got hijacked or anything else. Like
That's
they did not
yeah, 'cause
know. They didn't know if they were going to go to Dallas
they
or any
did-
other major. Like
they
any
hijacked, like,
any
the
city
other-
that was close to a major city, they pretty much
Here's the thing.
evacuated.
Here's
and
the
did
thing.
all that
Here's
stuff.
the thing. First of all, it was for the teachers because they're adults and they wanted to be with their family. It's a tragic event.
I guess
That too.
Yeah, but mainly in our area, it was because all four of us are from the mid-cities area of North Texas, and on one side there's Bell Helicopter, which makes all of the helicopters
Yeah.
for the military.
I live
and then
right down
there's-
the street from that.
We both,
Yeah.
me and him both live right down the street from that. And then there's Lockheed Martin, which makes all of the airplanes for the military. And then there's an army base. Like,
My point is,
Tarrant
we didn't-
Tarrant County, Texas is one of like the number one like strategic places to bomb.
My point was we didn't know.
But they weren't bombing. They were crashing into buildings.
Okay,
and like,
but
if we're
at
in
that
the
point-
suburbia,
Still.
if we're in suburbia, there's not a skyscraper next to us. They're not going to hit a
There
skyscraper.
wasn't a skyscraper in the Pennsylvania field that they crashed the plane into.
That's because the
Or the
civilians
Pentagon.
took
Yeah,
over
but
the
that could
plane.
easily happen. Like,
Or the Pentagon. That's not a skyscraper either.
either way, I wish they would have released us. They didn't release us, but I can see why they would have.
Okay, well,
I was taking a spelling test, which is
the
clearly
point I
important.
was trying to say was like we got released early, so for me, since I didn't tell him anything yet, I was like, oh sweet, I get to go home. I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And then my dad was telling me to shush because he was listening to the radio
Yeah.
with the president on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, hearing
And
I
then
don't
that's
know.
when I
Hearing
was
my
like,
dad's perspective from it at the time, like he was telling me how he felt during the whole thing. I don't know. That probably made it more real to me because I don't know. I wish I was older when it happened so that I could have seen it happening live and felt it more.
Well, I mean, obviously, we wish we didn't even see
I
it
don't
at
know.
all.
Yeah,
but-
dude. I'm glad with being ignorant at that age and not knowing.
Well,
Like,
I'm not.
There's both
It-
sides
it-
to it. Like, I see what you're saying, so that way you'd understand more of what's going on and
It's
what
like-
actually
it's
happened.
Like, it's like
but-
driving past a wreck that just happened. You're like, why couldn't I have been here to see this? But at the same time, do you really want to see that guy get run over? Because I've seen somebody get run over. It's pretty bad to look
yeah, I've
at.
seen someone get run over too. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the whole nation felt a specific emotion for seeing the same thing at the same time, and
Mikey, what are
Sorry.
you doing?
Stepped on my foot.
My bad.
the thing, like, yeah,
Sorry.
what I'm saying is the whole nation felt something all at the same time, watching the same thing, and I feel like I missed out on that because I was old enough to realize what was going on, but I didn't see it happening live, and I was like buying into their feelings,
I guess.
you know. It wasn't as I was sad and really angry as a little fourth grader, but I wasn't as like shocked because I didn't see it happening live. Like my dad said that like watching it live and not like at first
Okay,
thinking
okay,
it was like
hold
a
on,
bombing.
hold on.
What?
The second one or the first one? Because you can't watch it live if they didn't know it was going to happen.
No,
No,
no.
no,
When,
watching the
when
coverage live,
when the
'cause when it
first
hit-
one went
'cause
in,
they thought it
that's
was
when
a-
they filmed it.
They thought it
after
was a
that.
bomb or they
Yeah.
thought it was an accident. And then when
So
the
they kept
second
it
plane
on.
hit
Are you
it,
talking about the second one? Or
I'm talking about the whole fucking thing, Daniel.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the act at which the plane hit.
No,
If
just
you're
the
talking
whole
about
the
second
whole
plane hit-
event. Because my dad said like 'cause at first I thought it was an accident because that had actually happened before, where a plane accidentally flew into the World Trade Center and nothing happened. And then something happened, but it didn't collapse. And then when the second one hit, they were like,
Okay,
"What?"
obviously something's going on here.
They were like, "What the hell is
Yeah.
going on?" And then and then one hit the Pentagon, and I don't know that they saw as much coverage of that. But my dad said that him and his best friend John, who I'm named after, ironically enough, they were watching it, and when the tower collapsed, that my dad said that like they both like went to their feet and their jaws just hit the floor because like nobody had any idea that was gonna happen. It's like, you know what I mean? I just feel like I missed a shocking moment that I would have liked to see. You know?
I don't know. I'd rather remain ignorant to something.
Well, I
that's
mean, of
supposed
course
to be
now-
true.
I'm not the person that ever wants to remain ignorant. That's just not the type
about
of person
tragedy. There is something nice about being ignorant to it. Like
I am. I'm not. I
it's like
hate that.
it's like
I
it's
think-
like seeing your
I
parents
don't
get
know.
shot versus hearing that they got shot. Do you really want to see them get shot? No.
That's way more personal. That is an unbelievably like graphic
I think-
personal
fine,
example.
Fine. Let's not get into that because we got to wrap up pretty quick. But
Okay. Either
the
way.
last thoughts on 9/11, seeing how it's coming up in like a week or so.
My prayers go out to the families that were affected by it for sure.
Yes,
because I mean,
same
like,
here.
since we were totally far away from that, like, people in
Yeah.
New York's perspective on it is way different than what we felt.
Yeah,
And-
I
and
agree.
now they're rebuilding it,
But-
which I think is awesome.
Yeah, well, not the two, but they're building the one tower that's.
Yeah.
Gonna be
What's what I'm
huge.
saying? But
They've been
ba-
saying
basically,
that for
like, they're
years.
trying.
What do you mean they've been saying? Do you think it's a myth? It's like halfway done.
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
Yes,
they
dude.
had
It's
buildings.
it's like
that's what I'm
halfway
saying.
done.
Like, like I've seen a bunch of
10
commercials
years
for
later,
it
it
since
takes
it's.
that long to build a building.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well,
they're clearing
okay,
out all of the
there's-
unidentified
I know, but
bodies. Just don't be an ass.
I'm not
Don't
trying to
be
be
an
an ass.
You're
I'm
being
just
an
saying,
ass,
like-
dude. You're being an ass.
It's a little. Yeah.
It takes time.
Okay.
Either way, this is coming from a guy that has watched documentaries about 9/11 all the time.
Yes,
and,
I have all the time, but I have seen.
well, I've seen them.
documentaries.
I've seen a bunch, and I like every time it comes around, like every annual year, I rewatch all of the.
The one I saw was the Pennsylvania one, because I guess they felt it was more
Yeah.
tragic, which basically it is, because at that point you're on the plane and you realize you've heard what's going on.
And see, like,
now you're
like
just,
everybody who either gave their life or was in the act of stopping them, and those people are heroes.
Yeah,
Like,
I
like
agree.
that's
sure.
the true definition.
It's one of those
like,
things-
like sacrificing yourself to save other people. Like that's
Yeah, it's
know,
it's
that
really
is-
it's
those
really
people
interesting
are
to
heroes.
hear stories like that about anyone standing up or like sacrificing themselves, and it really makes you want, like it's really interesting to think about, would I do that in that moment? How would I act? And as corny as it sounds, like when I was watching Captain America, there's a scene where they throw a fake live grenade, and they know that he's the right guy because like everyone else runs away and he runs and jumps on it to protect everyone else when he's still like the scrawny little guy. I saw that, I was like, what would I do if that
Yeah,
happened?
I
Would
don't
I would
know.
run the fuck away. Like
I don't-
They're,
see,
they're
that's what I'm saying.
already
I
far
don't-
enough. To
No, they
where,
weren't. Not far enough. I don't think it realized how grenades work.
So-
It's
so
not like
he-
Call of Duty where it only like it
No,
has,
no,
it has to be
okay,
like a foot away
I
from
get
you
it.
to
I
hurt
get
you.
it. Like I know that movies,
Shrapnel
a real
goes
grenade
everywhere.
goes off, your body's in shreds. Your whole body
Yeah.
doesn't fly across the screen. Your arm flies off. Your head flies off.
Yeah.
things like I get that. But you're
Okay,
muffling
you have-
the explosion. But at the same time, if it's that powerful, it's gonna hit anyway.
No, it's not.
No.
No, it'll just
If you're right on top of it,
it'll
you're definitely
kill
gonna
you,
cover
but it's
it.
not going to kill anybody else.
Okay.
Either way, this as corny as it sounds, I saw that and I was like, what would I do if that happened?
I'd
And
run the
it's
fuck away.
Yeah, I'm not asking. I'm just saying it's interesting to think about.
All right, like okay, so that's just like saying, what would you have tried to have saved? Well, man, wait, what I'm trying to say here, would you have done the same thing as those people did on that plane?
Exactly. It's hard to
Yeah.
tell. It's hard
That's what
to
I'm
tell.
saying. Like, it just,
I feel like this podcast.
I mean, obviously, I'm not in the moment,
Yeah.
which I would figure in the moment I would definitely want to, but from the outside, it's like I don't know because I mean I don't want to die either.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
It's just one of those things.
The most interesting thing to think about, I think, is whether or not, like, if you know you're gonna die either way based on what's happened, would I be like frozen in fear, or would I just like try and minimize the collateral damage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, there's no way to tell, so you just kind of have to.
Well, exactly. That's what's interesting to think about.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want, like, this podcast is getting so like dark and sad. towards
It's not-
the end.
no, it's not
Can we
dark
talk
and
about like,
sad.
something
It's
happy
like-
before, like
The thing is that,
puppies
like,
and rainbows?
I think people might find this interesting because
Yeah,
No,
this
I
is-
do.
this is
It's just
a-
we're about to wrap up, and I don't want to wrap up with people being miserable, like thinking about something sad.
not thinking about something sad. We're
I
just,
see
we're
what you're
just
saying.
thinking,
This
we're
is
reminiscing.
this is actual
A
like
deep
serious.
discussion,
Yeah.
All
Rather
right.
than just hey, I got a burger at some place. It
Yeah,
was
I got a
terrible.
burger at Five Guys.
I've never eaten at Five Guys.
Five Guys is one of the most hit and miss restaurants I've ever been to. The first one I went to, I've been to multiple times. It was awesome. Second one I went to,
Where?
freaking disgusting. The one in exactly.
Okay.
The Five Guys in South Lake, awesome.
Okay.
And the one
well,
in
that's South
Hearst.
Lake,
well,
though.
it's okay. A city being nice doesn't mean that they're cookie cutter fast food places
Uh,
are any nicer. They don't get any nicer ingredients. Like,
Well, yeah, but they probably have better people doing.
no, they don't. Are you serious?
I would think so.
They're the same like unqualified high school kids. Either way, and the one in Hearst was
That's
freaking
not like-
disgusting. And then the one here was pretty good.
So with that, we're gonna wrap it up.
All
Thank you guys
right.
for watching our first podcast. Hope you liked it.
See
Check
ya.
back next Wednesday for another podcast. That's the schedule for this week. Wednesday or Thursdays.
Yep.
One of those 2 days. So
All right.
thank you for watching. Once again, let's just go through our names. This is the first one. Over here
Yeah.
we have,
Mikey Blosh.
Corey Reeby.
John Cannon.
and I am Daniel Santiago. So thank you for watching. Check out 5054productions.com if you're listening to this on iTunes. And thanks for watching. See you guys next time.
See ya.